Hi, I'm your host, Roseanne, a certified nutrition coach with a background in psychology. Here on Hey Sugar podcast, you will learn how to live a healthy and sustainable lifestyle without dieting. I'll be teaching you practical tips that you can incorporate in your unique lifestyle. I am going to help you break any dieting mindset traps and show you that a healthy and sustainable lifestyle is doable. I'm going to keep it simple and I'm going to keep it real. Now, you see, I was once overweight, I was once medically obese and had a diagnosis of high cholesterol. I've been able to keep my weight off and keep my cholesterol numbers to a healthy range for over the past 15 years. So if you're ready to change your life for good and create a healthy and sustainable lifestyle for yourself, then this is for you. Let's go.
Hey, sugar. Today we're going to talk about artificial foods, artificial sweeteners, artificial substances that are added to our foods. And this is so important to me because I actually began to recognize about the effects of artificial flavors and artificial foods even before I actually started this journey. Now, my goddaughter, when she was a baby, I remember her skin would break out after a meal. So obviously her mom was breastfeeding her. And at some point, I believe, I could be wrong on this one, but I believe when she started introducing solid foods, her daughter started breaking out. And her daughter has very light skin. So you would see her skin would break out into hives and it would have these red rashes. It would have these dots literally all over her body. And at this point, I remember her mom being very diligent and in trying to find out what was causing her daughter's skin to break out. And as her friend, I remember I followed this journey because she would always tell me, oh my God, I am doing so much research and I am finding out my daughter's skin is breaking out because we are adding either spices or I have already identified some artificial ingredients that are found in foods that we are adding in her natural foods that are causing the breakout. And in that moment, I remember her specifically saying, the red color that's added in spices, and I believe yellow color that's added in spices was something she had identified that was found in spices that was causing her daughter's skin to break out. And in that moment, I remember going back to my pantry. Remember, I wasn't doing this. I wasn't in the health industry. I wasn't in wellness. I was actually in corporate. But I remember, because our daughters are actually almost the same age, I remember going back into our pantry and because this mom had become she was like looking at every single thing, just making sure, what am I adding in my food because of my baby? Mama bear came out, okay? She's like, I gotta protect my baby. And so what happened is she then changed their nutrition and they started eating organic foods. This time we lived in Lower Massachusetts. I remember they identified like different places where they would get organic milk, organic ice cream, organic farms, where they'd get all the organic foods because of the baby. And this was the first time that I remember becoming very interested in nutrition. And sometimes you actually never really know what your calling is. And one of the ways to know is the things that pique your interest, even if you're not in that genre, or even if you're not doing the thing that you think you've been called to do. But I remember being very interested in knowing what are the things she was doing, what are the foods she was cooking, what is she adding to make her foods palatable. And I remember there's a specific spice that she stopped using, and I remember we also stopped using as a result of her recommending that. There's a spice we used to get from Kenya. I remember she was like, don't get that one. It's also bad. It has all these chemicals. And we stopped that. And so it's important to know that everything that you eat, the foods that you eat, will go to your gut and are going to affect your gut. And the biggest thing that I want us to recognize is that there are hidden artificial flavors that are found in foods. So the question you might be asking, okay, what do you mean by artificial flavors, artificial foods? Now, artificial flavors and or foods are substances that are not necessarily found in nature. These are substances that are created by man and are created in the lab. And what we have found is with the artificial foods that are created in the lab, created by man, they end up putting them in our foods for several reasons. Number one, to improve the taste of food, to improve the texture of natural food, to improve maybe even the freshness of food or the appearance of food. So there's a reason why they are put inside regular foods. These are things such as red colors, yellow color, number 5, color number 40. We have caramel, we've got MSG, there's aspartame in the form of sugars. And all these artificial flavors are also going to be found in things like meats, meat products, things like sausages, like bacon, things like sliced ham, turkey. They're going to be found even in yogurts, in sauces like tomato sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauces, meat products, bone broths, spices. So they are put in all these different foods. And because we usually eat just a little bit, we never consider the effects of them. And one of the reasons why this is important, especially for you that is looking to live a healthy and a sustainable lifestyle, it's really important to begin to notice what it is that you're putting in your gut. And artificial foods are one of those things that are dangerous to our gut, that are not healthy for our gut. And for most people, majority of people, they've actually been shown to affect us adversely. For some people, it could be you're wondering, why are my cravings so high? But you don't realize maybe the artificial flavor that is in the food is actually changing your gut in the microbiome, and it's causing you to crave more of those foods. There are other people who tend to have skin breakouts when they have those things, like my goddaughter. When you have things that have had even a small amount, once it goes into your gut, it disrupts your gut microbiome and it affects you from the inside. And now what you're seeing is the manifestation of what's happening on the inside. And so you begin to see your skin breaking out. For kids, you get kids who have hyperactivity. So if you're eating or giving your child a lot of processed foods and they have a lot of these artificial flavors, you're just going to notice that your kid may be hyperactive and your kid is running up and down all over the place. So you need to notice what is happening when you eat the food that you're eating. Are your foods as natural as possible, as whole as possible, or are you finding yourself leaning and eating more of the foods that are processed, more of the foods that do not have healthy ingredients? And this is one way for you to take control of what you're bringing at home. And for you, it's going to the supermarket, reading those labels, really understanding what has been put in these foods. Because whatever has been put in here most likely is what's causing you not to lose weight, causing you to crave, causing that energy to dip, causing your moods to be all over, causing the skin breakouts. It could be one of those things. And even studies have shown there are diseases, that there's a direct correlation with diseases that come as a result of eating artificial flavors. And so one way to do this is, number one, to switch and focus on a lot of more whole natural foods. And secondly, if you are going to want some processed foods, get cleaner sauces. Get ones that do not have this long list of ingredients in there of things that you cannot read and or understand. So it's important for you, Sugar, to go into your pantry to look at what it is that you're feeding your family, what it is you're feeding yourself, and notice, does it have these artificial flavors that may be causing you not to be healthy and to live that optimal lifestyle that we're wanting you to live? All right. So take matters into your own hand, girl. Go look it up. Look in your pantry what you have. I would encourage you to begin to swap out those unhealthy foods with something more healthier. They carry a lot of healthier. If you're looking for something healthier like chips, they do have some that only have just simple ingredients. Like maybe it could be potatoes and salt, and that's it. Or it could be potato chips with just salt, or it could be just peanut butter with salt. It should not have all these other additives in there, because all these other hidden things are the ones that are causing us not to live that healthy, optimal lifestyle. So take matters into your own hand. Read the ingredients, read the labels, understand what you're feeding your body, what you're feeding your family, and then begin to make swaps with more whole foods. All right, Sugar? As always, remember, you've got one life, you've got one body. I want you to treasure it.